Monika Carter of Fitness Science Incorporated. Welcome to my Fat Blaster Circuit. So today we're doing a series of 6 videos. There will be 6 instructional videos and 6 workout videos. So please make sure you watch the instructional videos first so you're familiar with the form and you know exactly how to do these exercises. These are very advanced exercises. Make sure you are not a beginner. Make sure you don't have any injuries before you do these exercises. They are difficult. They require a lot of stabilization. They require a lot of muscular endurance and stamina. They're excellent in toning different muscles and working your core at the same time. They will incorporate as many different muscle groups as possible in each exercise so that you can go through the circuit of only 8, yet work the whole body in that short period of time. And they're designed to be done in sets of 2 or 3, so you basically do one circuit if you're a beginner doing these exercises, not the complete beginner. Do one circuit, then build up to 2, eventually 3. That should take you probably 20 to 30 minutes altogether. There will be very little rest in between. You're going to rest only 30 seconds between the first and second and third and fourth exercise. Then 60 to 90 seconds, a little longer rest between the 4th and the 5th, and then another short circuit of 4 following exercises with 30 seconds of rest in between. So not much rest, but you make sure you drink water. You always have that 30 seconds to get some water. It's very easy to get dehydrated. These are very intense exercises. Make sure that you can correctly stabilize, that you're not a complete beginner, that you are able to complete at least a few repetitions of the instructional videos first and do them slowly to make sure you get the form. And if you can, then go ahead and start with the workout itself. So the exercises themselves are done very slowly. It puts more demand on the muscles. You will burn more calories this way. Your muscles will actually get more burn and more tone. But you will be progressing from one exercise to the other, as I just said, very quickly. Welcome to part 4 of my Fat Blaster Circuit. And we're going to start with the forward moving lunge or walking lunge, alternating legs with what I call a core ball twist. So it's going to put more emphasis on your abdominals, all your core muscles, as well as your shoulders and your biceps. So basically, we're going to start with the core ball. You can do it with a regular ball. This is 8 pounds, so whatever you can hold comfortably with your arms straight. Usually, because of the long lever arm, it's not going to be something very heavy. Otherwise, it's going to compromise your form. So you're starting with the core ball next to your chest. You're bringing the right foot forward to a lunge position, and the core ball forward and rotate about 30 to 45 degrees. Come right back up, ball to the chest. You're ending on one leg, and then alternate legs. So leg goes forward, push the ball forward, 30 to 45 degrees rotation, come back to balance. If coming back to balance is too hard, just put both feet together. So a quick note on the core rotation. And I'm going to show this to you from the side. If I'm going down to this position, first of all, try to keep that knee parallel to the floor. You can go a little bit lower, that's fine. Your knee should be above your ankle. The foot behind you should be on the toes, not like this with the leg straight. A lot of people do a lunge this way. You're putting a lot of strain on your Achilles tendon, or if you keep your foot turned out, a lot of torque on the knee. So just make sure everything is in a straight line facing forward. Then you can bring the knee down almost towards the floor if you have that range. And the rotation itself is about 30-45 degrees, but think about rotating from your torso using your abdominals, not your arm muscles. If you're starting to try to reach out a lot more, you're going to put a lot of strain on your lower back. Your back is going to start arching, and that's not what we're trying to do. So if I move with my obliques only, this is pretty much the range I'm getting. 45 degrees, no more. And then you come back up to a balanced position. All right, exercise number 2, push up with your legs on the ball, but we're going to only keep one leg on the ball. If this is too hard, keep both legs on the ball, that's fine. Here, since you're going to have to switch from one leg to another, that ball is going to have to shift a little bit more to the center, so that's absolutely normal. Don't let that scare you. And you're going to have to work with your core a little bit more to make sure that you don't fall off the ball. So start by putting your one leg on the ball with your foot flat like this, and you're going to come down, slightly turn hands for a push-up in push-up position. You're going to start with both feet up, and again you can bring the ball closer towards your knees if this is too hard. I'm going to lift one leg up and then do a push-up, and then switch legs and do another push-up. Make sure that the leg that's lifted straight behind you is straight. You're trying to lengthen it through your toes. You're contracting your quads as well as your butt. So it's not hanging somewhere there, because it's not going to keep you very stable and you're going to go flying off the ball. So everything is really tight and working together. Next exercise is an exercise for the back. It's sort of like a pull-up, but of course modified pull-up for women or guys who are not that strong. It's actually not that easy. It looks easy, but it gets really hard as you do it. And I'm using the Smith machine for this. Remember that the higher you bring the bar, of course, the easier it's going to get. So we're going to keep it somewhere in the middle. And you're going to put your hands over the bar, either this way with your thumb under, over, whatever is easier for you. And bring your feet together in front, legs straight. And I try to keep my feet on my heels just because it prevents me from pushing myself up with my legs rather than my back. And you're going to come under the bar. Think about starting in a perfect plank position. So straight line, abs pulled in, glutes tight, and you're going to pull yourself up. Actually, I have to go a little bit lower. So when you come up, the bar should come up to your chest level. I'm going to come up, squeeze towards your chest, back down, and then come up again, squeeze, and again. So you're bringing the shoulder blades together as if you were doing a wide grip row with the bar like this. So this is a simple abdominal crunch, but we're going to make it a little bit more difficult. If you look at people doing this exercise, usually everybody goes down to a parallel to the floor position. For anybody who has back issues, any kind of stenosis or problems with your vertebra, this is not an exercise to do. But for a healthy spine, it's fine, and especially because your abdominals, if you think about it, if you lie on the ball and put your body over the ball and stretch your abdominals here. By the way, most people think this is a back stretch. It's actually an abdominal stretch because you're lengthening your abs. This is the range for your abs, right? Your abs can actually go from the straight body position, the supine position, to that much more, okay? So we're going to add that range. Just make sure that when you go back, you don't get dizzy. If you do, you may have some issues with artery blockages in your neck. You might want to see a doctor, actually. That would be indicated. So I'm going to start on the ball right here, and again, most people start way too far forward. This will not challenge your abdominals that much. You may have to adjust it depending on the strength of your abdominals. If your abs are stronger, you can go back further, but make sure you don't do it if your lower back is hurting. Either it's too hard for you with this particular range, you have to shift forward a little bit more, or you're just not using your abs correctly, or they're just not strong enough. All right, so let's start right here, and I'm going to just keep my hands like this at the back of my head rather than pulling on my neck. And my feet are pretty close together. Again, it's not this because you're not going to use your abdominals enough to support you. Okay, so they don't have to work very hard that way. So your feet are pretty close together. And you come back, your tailbone should be on the ball. That's probably an easier way to describe it as far as how far I go back.
And from here, I'm actually going all the way back and not hyperextending at my neck. Everything is at an extension of my spine. So make sure you have that range. If you don't, then just do whatever you have. Coming back very slowly and straight up. Now, most people think that the higher they come, the better the crunch. It's actually the opposite. Your abs work about 30 degrees of flexion off the floor. The rest is of the supine position. The rest is your flexors. So it's actually harder to stop here and then go right back. If you're coming right up here, then your flexors take over and there's no more stress on the abdominals. So let's do it again, really slowly, and one vertebrae at a time, squeeze it at the top, come back very slowly. So when you come back, think about your abdominals stretching and lengthening and decelerating the movement down. The slower you do it, the harder it's going to be. Really, really slowly come back. And you never really relax your abdominals throughout the set. A lot of people think that just because they go down, back, that's it. It's actually not. You have to keep using the abs both ways. And going back is actually a lot harder. So make sure it's a slow movement, coming back down if you can, and then coming back up. Next exercise, shoulders and core. Another hard exercise for your core and balance. Again, make sure you can maintain the position on the ball. So one leg starts on the ball, bent, slowly put the hand in front of you. Make sure you're holding onto something. That's why I'm doing only one arm, so you always have one arm free in case you feel that you need to grab something. And coming up on the ball, not too wide with your legs. Your feet are flexed and toes against the ball. That will help you to stabilize. Once you can maintain this position and not like this, okay, your pelvis is nice and stable, your glutes are tight, your back is pretty straight. From here, I'm just going to do a lateral raise, bring my arm to the side. I'm doing it with one arm, as I said, because it's safer in case you need some support here, in case you feel like you're going to fall off. But at the same time, it makes it much harder because it's a unilateral movement. So you're going to have to work that much harder with your core to be able to stabilize it. So keeping the arm slightly bent, see what's happening. Now I'm trying to center myself back again. And once I'm stable here, I can move my arm. Slightly bent elbow, and then a little lateral raise. So your elbow comes up to about, your upper arm comes about to parallel to the floor position. Whether you bring your forearm a little higher, that's okay, but try not to lift higher than this. You're going to put a lot of stress on the bursa and the joint, shoulder joint. Okay, so next exercise is going to combine the leg movement and a bicep curl. So it's a back and forward lunge to balance in between. Again, if you can't balance on one leg, go ahead and put the other leg down, or just the toes so you get a little bit of balance, but you're not so unstable. So I'm going to start with the back lunge. Perfectly straight up your body, come back to balance, then do a supinated bicep curl. This is a movement called supination, coming from this position, curling the arm back up. Okay, so I'm going to do a supinated bicep curl, down, and with the same leg going forward, coming back to balance, bicep curl, and back again. All right, so let me show you this exercise from the side. You'll be able to see the lunge a little bit better. You're going to come back to a back lunge, back to balance, supinated bicep curl, forward lunge. Try not to arch your back as you come back up. And then again, back lunge, coming back up, forward lunge, and back up. Different tricep exercise. It's similar to a tricep push-up, but we're going to do it on the core ball. So a little bit, it's not very unstable, but it gives a little bit of instability component. And to make it harder on the core, we're going to do it on one leg. If it's too hard, just keep both feet on the ground. So we're going to come down into a perfect plank position. And just make sure on this one, your chest is right over the ball. You're a little further forward than for a regular push-up. And you're going to lift one leg up and then come down, squeeze back up, make sure the butt stays down, back down, come back, squeeze the triceps, switch legs, come back down, and again, one more, back down, and lift and push. Okay, so this is like an exercise for mostly lower abdominals, but again, your upper and obliques are going to be stabilizing you as well as the whole core. You're going to lie down on your back, and I keep a little bit, a small towel folded under my lower back, just to make sure I have that feedback, that my back is not arching. It'll help you to maintain that natural curve in your back, but at the same time, if you arch your back too much, you will know that you're not touching the towel, you will just feel it. So it's a little bit easier to do it this way. So we're going to start with a bar over your head. It's a 9-pound bar, nothing very heavy, but you could use just a bar with no weight at all. And you're going to start with your legs straight up. So make sure you first start by pulling your belly button to the spine and pushing the back to the towel. And then you're going to unfold your body right here, bringing the arms back and the leg down. And I'm keeping my feet flexed, and I'm going to hold it down for 3. Now, remember that you can only go down as low as you can comfortably keep that back tight on the ground and you do not feel the back arching. If your back starts to arch, that's where you stop, even if it's as little as this. Okay, so you're going to come down, hold it here for 1, 2, 3, and then switch. The same with the arms. The further back you bring your arms, the harder it gets. 1, 2, 3, and switch. And 1, 2, 3. If you notice, I'm doing it very, very slowly. Again, it's harder for the abs. 1, 2, 3, and back up.